First of all, thank you very much for purchasing a Trishaw from Gnargo, made with love here in Northwest Arkansas. We wanted to make a video and show you some tips and tricks and some safety information for how to pilot one of these. So join me and we'll go through some of that in detail. Check your pressure, look on your tire. The sidewall is going to have a printed max PSI. For a Trishaw that's carrying such heavy loads, we recommend air up to that max PSI. That makes it simple. The next thing you want to check is your spoke tension. So the way you do that is simply run your hands slowly over all of the spokes, checking for anything loose. You shouldn't feel any rattling or any strange noises. Those all need to be tight. Okay, the brakes on this, it's got a dual front brake system. So 2 front wheels are controlled by your left hand and your rear is controlled by the right. It's a hydraulic, very strong brakes. You don't need to squeeze too hard. If you're having to squeeze very hard, then we need some brake service. You should be able to do a light squeeze and have the whole bike come to a stop. You've got a lot more stopping power on the front, so your left hand favor the front. You'll be able to stop more smoothly and quickly. If you're only using the rear, you're gonna burn through brake pads a little faster. So to release the parking brake, you're gonna flip these two. The red goes into the larger, and they come back. And then the brake is free. Trishaw can roll. To engage the parking brake, you're gonna do the opposite. You're gonna pull this big paddle forward, and then you're gonna squeeze the brake until you hear at least 1 click. Up 2, and the most important thing is if there's any rolling, keep squeezing it until it's not rolling and it's clearly locked. You can check your seat posts, set it to the right height. Most of them come spec'd with a quick release. If they don't, you'll need a little Allen key to adjust that height. Check your chain. Make sure the chain is just lubed, that it's not sagging. You can get a chain wear check indicator. It's a little tool that you put on that chain to show you how stretched it is and when it needs to be replaced. One quick troubleshooting thing you can do is if you're having a chain skipping around or a little bit of clicking, there's a barrel adjuster right on the end of your shifter. And when you loosen this, it's actually going to tighten it and put a little bit more pressure on the cable that goes to the derailleur. Often just 1 or 2 clicks of this will help alleviate those chain skipping issues. So try that first. So with the Trishaw, some tips for shifting. The bike comes with a very normal shifter. You've got a larger thumb press here to make the gears easier for when you're going up a hill. And then behind it, you have an index finger lever to make the gears harder for when you're on a flatter or downhill. One thing you can do is shift down to an easy gear before you come to a stop so that you're already in that easy gear when it's time to go again. It'll just make it and start it easier for you. You also want to shift into an easier gear before you're on the steepest part of a hill. So anticipate that and shift into the easy gear as you're coming up to it. Okay, let's talk about the pedal assist and the throttle. This bike comes equipped with both. You've got a pedal assist that is using a magnet wheel on your crank, and it senses when you're pedaling, and it gives power from the rear wheel based on the pedal assist level that you set. So I would recommend starting with level 1 until you get used to that power, and you can go up to level 9, so a very big range, and that's also configurable. But start with a low level and go slow. You're going to be shifting gears like a normal bike, but that pedal assist is just sensing whenever you are pedaling. So it doesn't matter how hard or how soft you're pedaling, it's just when you're pedaling. You've also got a throttle. And so your throttle here, when you twist that throttle, it's going to ignore whatever's happening with the pedals and give you maximum power right away. That can be very helpful for a stop sign or a stoplight when there's traffic and you want to get going immediately. But you need to be very careful with this because it ignores the max speed and the pedal sensing that you have, and you can go as fast as the Trishaw will allow. So it's not safe to go too fast with passengers or with heavy load, and you want to be careful with this. So helpful in some scenarios, but don't use the throttle if you can pedal. On a very steep hill, best practice is to use your low gear and the pedal sensor, pedal assist. Don't use the throttle, just keep it into an easy gear like you would on a bicycle and use that human power to assist the hub motor. You can use the pedal assist in max level, but I wouldn't recommend throttling on that. Once you throttle, it sends a kill switch to the transmission, and it's going to say no more pedal assist, only throttle. So if you commit to that throttle, you have to stay with it. So that's why we think it's better just to stay with the pedal assist. Okay, so we're gonna power on by holding the power button until the screen comes on and says hello. So on the display, we have the battery indicator in the top right that shows percentage of battery left. You've got the speed in the middle here in miles per hour, and your pedal assist number at the top. That's how much pedal assist you're going to have when you pedal. You use the plus on your controls to change that all the way up to 9. At the bottom, you've got a selection between trip, odometer, and time, and you cycle through that using the M button on your controller. You've also got this icon here that's showing caution. That is a kill switch that's automatically engaged whenever you're squeezing the brakes. So I've got the brake on right now, and so it's telling the motor that it's not going to send any power to the motor while that kill switch is engaged. You've got some other menu options here if you double tap the M. We'll go through that in the training guide and what each of these menus does, but just wanted to show you that that's available. Display comes with an automatic light, but you can manually turn the light on and off by holding the plus until the light icon comes on and your lights will be always on. You can turn that back off by holding. Okay, when you're ready to load or unload passengers or cargo, make sure your parking brake is on and the Trishaw is not moving. You've got some rubber latches here. Some of the models have a metal pin. You're going to remove that on both sides. And the important thing to note is when this stand comes down, we have some rollers here that act as the stand. You're going to notice those are going to come down and engage, and they need to be flat on the ground. So you want to make sure you're in a smooth, flat area when you put this down, and that there's no play at all whenever passengers stand up on this. And the way you can make certain of that is that you've got those 2 rubber rollers making contact and your 2 front wheels. Those need to be in contact before you load or unload. I want you to check your battery, make sure that the battery is not damaged, that it's locked in place, it's switched to the on position. There's a little charging port, make sure that rubber cover is covering it, so if you get wet, it keeps the water out of there. Thank you for watching this video. We just covered some of the biggest highlights and things that I think are easier to see on video, but we cover a lot more in our training and user guide that we're going to post on our website. If there's anything that's not covered in there and you have questions, just contact us. Thank you.